Hey guys, this is Jam of JamOnline.ph and we're here at Bangkok, Thailand for the highly anticipated Redmi Note 13 series launch. So, basically we got here different variants for the Redmi Note 13 series. We got 3 Pro variants and we got 2 base model variants, and the one that we have is the most affordable one. This is the Redmi Note 13. This is the non-5G variant, just to be clear with you guys. And yes, we're gonna do a hands-on and first impressions of this smartphone. So what are you waiting for? Let's do a hands-on and first impressions. So first things first, let's talk about the design of the Redmi Note 13 base variant. All right, the base variant. So as you can see in here, we got here a really nice display. This is actually an AMOLED display. It's a 6.67-inch AMOLED display with a 120 Hz refresh rate. Based on paper, that is actually pretty good, and it does have a 1800 nits peak brightness. All right, so basically we got here really nice colors. It's not on IPS level. Despite being an affordable smartphone, we still got here an AMOLED display, a 120 Hz refresh rate, and the peak brightness might not be the best in the market, but it does the job. And of course, it is still pretty good, especially for its price range. So large display, we got here the selfie camera. For the camera, we got here the 16 megapixel front-facing camera, and of course at the back we got here the triple camera lens. We got here the 108 megapixel main camera, and then there's the 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and of course there's the 2 megapixel macro camera. So compared to the Pro variant of the Redmi Note 13 series, the base variant does have a 108 megapixel camera. The Pro variant, 200 megapixel. That is a big difference, especially when it comes to the megapixel count, and of course when it comes to quality. But of course we're gonna get down to that later on. For the processor, it comes with a Qualcomm Snapdragon 685 chipset. So this one is based on 6nm manufacturing process. So compared to the predecessor, which is the 680, this one has a quite faster performance. Just a little bit actually, just a little bit. And then this one also comes with an up to 8 gigs of RAM. So the variant that we got comes with an 8 gigs of RAM, but this one is also available in 6 gigs of RAM. So basically, this one is the 8 gigs plus 256 gigs, but there's the 6 gigs plus 128 gigs for a more affordable pricing. Below the smartphone, we got here the USB Type-C, and it does support 33 watts of fast charging. Not the fastest one, but it does the job. And of course, there's the 5,000 milliamp hours of battery. Now, I've noticed that after using it for a while, I've noticed that the battery is actually pretty good. I haven't tested it, so I do not have the numbers, but I expect that when we tested it using PCMark Work 3.0 battery test, that we will have a good battery life with the Redmi Note 13. Again, this is a budget smartphone, but it does support an in-screen fingerprint scanner. So that is actually quite surprising. So normally, an in-screen fingerprint scanner is more expensive compared to the side fingerprint scanner. But yeah, it's nice to have an in-screen fingerprint scanner on the Redmi Note 13. While for the other aspects, we got here the headphone jack and also the speaker grill. We also got here the IR blaster. So basically, if you have a wired headphones, it would work on this one. If you want to use it as your remote for different appliances, it would also work on this one as well, just like the other Xiaomi smartphones. Now, the smartphone isn't actually the same with the other variant because this one doesn't have 5G. This is the reason why we're getting the 685 processor instead of the Dimensity 6080, which supports 5G. Now, as for the build quality, the Redmi Note 13 does have a glossy back. I believe this one is plastic, but it does look nice. The green color that we have, it really looks nice in the hand. And then, of course, we got here the plastic flat sides. We do got here a flat display on this one. And the bezels aren't that thick, so I'm pretty fine with this one, especially for its price range. And again, plastic. And then we got here the Redmi logo branding over here, the 108 megapixel. And of course, there's the protruding camera as well on this one. So most of you wouldn't probably use the case on this one. So you would probably use this one. I really don't have any problems with it. And I'm actually fine using this one. As for the software, we got here the MIUI 14.0.2. I'm actually fine with it. Of course, it's running on Android. And then, of course, we got here the 256 gigs of storage. You can see in here the full specifications of the smartphone. We got 8 gigs of RAM and can be expanded even more. But Honestly, I do not notice any performance difference whenever I expand the RAM of the smartphone. So I'm pretty fine with the 8 gigs of RAM that is built into this smartphone. So we tested the camera of the Redmi Note 13 here at Bangkok, Thailand, especially at the Asiatic night market. We tested it using the night mode, of course, the automatic mode. And I've noticed that most of the shots that we have done were, of course, it's low light. Some of it are soft, some of it are not that sharp, but surprisingly still exceeded my expectations. Again, this is a budget smartphone, so of course our expectations are lower on this one. In some of our shots, we've noticed that yes, it's a little bit soft, but the processing has really improved on this one. The brightness, the colors, despite shooting at low light, it has definitely improved on the Redmi Note 13. So overall, the main camera of this one is better than I expected. It's definitely not the best one. Again, it's a budget smartphone, but for 108 megapixel camera for its price range, it will do just fine. The ultra-wide camera, I believe the brightness, the range does improve, but I believe it can be still tweaked to improve even more after a few software updates. And again, going back to the main camera, I really appreciate that the processing has definitely improved the camera or the shots that we took using the smartphone. It's way brighter, the shots are better, and for the selfie camera, well, you need to take a selfie at a decent lighting conditions to have a really good quality. But if you're shooting at low light, well, don't expect too much from this smartphone. So I guess that's it for our hands-on of the Redmi Note 13. It's a really interesting smartphone. I mean, we got your really nice colors. It's an AMOLED display. Of course, it's a 120Hz refresh rate, so that's a really refresh to us. And the smartphone is actually pretty affordable. So this one is priced at 9,999 pesos, and this is the 8 gigs plus 256 gig variant. There will be an exclusive Shopee sale from January 16 to 25 in where you can get the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 at 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. So that one will be available for 7,499 pesos, which is down from 7,999 pesos. And I think for 8,000 pesos or 7,999 pesos, this one is actually pretty good. The software, the quality, the hardware is actually pretty awesome on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 13. But of course, this is just our first impression, so if you want to know more about it, be sure to stay tuned for a full review of the Redmi Note 13. So I guess that's it for our video. So if you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and be sure to click that subscribe button along with that bell button to get notified of our latest videos here in my YouTube channel. So once again, I am Jam of JamOnline.ph. Thank you for watching and see you guys again in our next video.